stupid!
You're so stupid!
Hello, and welcome to Government is Fucking Stupid. Now, we know government is stupid because we have a long track record of watching government do incredibly stupid things. And being that stupid does tend to cost an awful lot of money. For example, taking delivery of the 80 M10 light Booker tanks that were built for testing and development purposes without ever deploying or fielding one of them before canceling the entire program in 2025 cost the government somewhere between $1 and closer to $2 billion. And that's with a B. But the government's always playing with house money, so to speak, right? It can always just go right back to the well and get more cash from us tax slaves on its giant plantation. So, and it's not even the government's money in the first place. I mean, the government has no money. I mean, how the hell could it? I mean, money, be it physical, digital, commodity currency, or just bullshit fiat currency like our American dollar, is still, no matter what, meant to represent a unit of value. And logically, then, it can only be accrued by doing valuable things. So how the fuck could the government, which does nothing of value on its own, even have all this money to spend? Well, it just steals money from us, money that we accrued by doing valuable things. It steals from us at gunpoint. Ever since the passage of the 16th Amendment in 1913, the federal income tax has become the main vehicle by which the federal government fills its coffers. And income taxes are pretty straightforward and easy for most Americans to understand. And hell, the government even is so nice as to provide a handy receipt for us on our paychecks as to how much they stole and what they, say they're going to use it for. So most Americans are at least somewhat aware of the fact that the government sucks up about a third of the average working American's wages every single year in the form of these taxes. And some even rightfully gripe about it. But yet the harbor remains disappointingly free of tea, so to speak. We just kind of suck it up and go along with it. Just allow ourselves to be massively extorted. And this just kind of tacitly gives the government leave to massively extort us yet more, which it does. As they say, taxes are the price we pay for not being quite the people our ancestors were. Anyway, another big way the government steals our money is via tariffs. And Donald Trump is very fond of enacting tariffs against countries whose leaders have done things to hurt his feelings recently. Right now, he's upset that huge unmanaged tracts of forest in remote uninhabited areas tend to catch fire if they're hit by lightning. And he also seems to be mad that fires make smoke, and so he's imposing a 50% tariff on Canada. So what does that even mean, though? Well, theoretically, then, it would mean that the U.S. government would tax all goods coming into the United States from Canada at 50%. So, say, a $100 hockey stick coming in from Canada to be sold in the U.S. would be taxed at $50 before coming into the country. And so the way Trump imagines this works then is that the hockey stick maker, knowing that his American customers are used to paying $100 for a specific model of hockey stick, is just going to eat that tax, choose to make less profit on that stick, and continue to sell the stick to Americans for right around that $100. And then angry at losing money, he's going to turn around and go to Ottawa and yell at his government and demand that they stop making Trump angry. And this ultimately will then make the government of Canada, fearful of these angry constituents, cave into the people's, well, ultimately Trump's demands, and I guess go tell the forests to stop being on fire. Of course, that never happens. I mean, even in the cases where the government can do something about whatever it is that's making Trump mad, this still never happens. In reality, what really happens is that the kid who needs a new stick for hockey season and goes to the store and finds that the model he's used to paying $100 for now costs closer to $150 and realizes he's got some more lawns to mow before the season and before he can afford this new stick. And yes, I know the regime denies there being a connection between wildfire smoke drifting into the United States from Canada and these new tariffs against Canada, but then the First Lady also denies there being any connection between herself and Jeffrey Epstein. So I guess how the regime defines the word connection and how I do might differ a little bit. But I think mine does hew closer to the actual English definition. So there's that. And whether or not these tariffs are specifically related to the wildfire smoke coming in from Canada is really beside the point. The point is that all tariffs, for whatever reason they're enacted, are fucking stupid. And they're stupid for the very reason I outlined earlier with my theoretical example about the kid needing the hockey stick. It's just another tax on us already overburdened tax slaves. Whether it's intended to punish a foreign government for doing something that made our government mad or to protect the domestic industry against foreign competition, tariffs never hurt anyone but the end consumer of the product subject to said tariff. And that's because there just aren't too many industries in today's world that can just absorb a double-digit increase to the taxes that they pay just to do business globally and just absorb that in stride. And there's fewer still that would choose to do so, even if they could, because doing such things tends to make shareholders really mad. Another dumbass thing related to tariffs that our government does that, again, like tariffs, only end up hurting American consumers are performance visas. These are taxes that our federal government charges bands, well, that's what I'm complaining about specifically, but any artist from any foreign country to come and perform in the United States. And these taxes range, come in at about, once you factor in the actual tariff and some consular fees and premium expediting fees and all the other bullshit, comes out to almost $2,500 or more per member. So if you got 6 members, like the legendary Iron Maiden here, that gets expensive. But, if you're the legendary Iron Maiden, that's not prohibitively expensive. It's going to hit a 5-member band that's quite a bit less well known, but also incredibly talented and awesome, like Unleash Your Archers a lot harder, or Bloodywood from India. And these tariffs are one of the big reasons why one of my favorite bands can't come over and play from can't come over from Ukraine and perform for us. Well, these tariffs and this. Anyway, sorry, I digress. So anyway, whatever the intent and fiery rhetoric behind Trump or anyone else's rationale for imposing tariffs might be, it's all meaningless bullshit. Because again, at the end of the day, the only ones paying those extra percentage points are us, the end consumers. And let's remember that those tariffs, those new taxes on foreign goods, are on top of the huge income taxes, sales, property, school, and who the hell knows what else, all else other taxes we pay already. And we pay all that shit just to stay out of jail. Or so that the 800 and some thousand police officers in the United States don't come and drag all the breadwinners from all 132 million net tax-paying households off to jail, I should say. Government is fucking stupid, but not half as stupid as being governed is. Anyway, thanks for sticking it out this long. If you like this kind of nonsense, please feel free to like and share and subscribe to the channel. And I'll see you next time. And in the meantime, please don't be stupid.